Oof, that's powerful. Roddenberry had a bold vision. He created Star Trek as a glimpse into a utopian future where humanity had overcome many of its current societal struggles. Unfortunately, 60 years later, and we still struggle with the same issues more or less. Star Trek movies, on the other hand, have always celebrated diversity and humanity's potential to overcome its flaws, transcending petty squabbles to work together for the greater good. Star Trek first captivated audiences back in 1966 as a television series. However, it wasn't until 1979 that the first film, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, hit the big screen. With a total of 13 movies spanning over 5 decades, the franchise has boldly gone where no film series, apart from James Bond, has gone before. Interestingly, the original series almost met its demise after its second season due to low ratings. But a massive letter-writing campaign by fans convinced the network to give it one more season. Did you know that the first film was originally intended to be a TV movie, or more like a TV pilot, for a new series called Star Trek Phase 2, which never happened? But due to the massive success of Star Wars in '77, it got a massive budget boost and went theatrical. From pioneering special effects to presenting a diverse and inclusive vision of the future, the Star Trek franchise has left an indelible mark on not just the sci-fi genre, but society as a whole. By addressing significant issues such as racism, war, peace, and diplomacy, the franchise demonstrates the power of storytelling. Throughout its history, Star Trek has pushed the boundaries of imagination and inspired countless innovations. For instance, the communicator from the original series inspired the creation of modern cell phones. Seriously, Martin Cooper, then an engineer at Motorola, got inspired by Captain Kirk's communicator while watching the show during a break in his lab, and later created the first mobile phone in 1973. The show also featured the first interracial kiss on American television, making a statement for racial equality during a time when segregation was still a prevalent issue. Star Trek's impact on the entertainment industry is undeniable. The franchise has spawned numerous spin-off series, novels, comics, video games, and even a themed attraction in Las Vegas. The unique storytelling style has inspired other science fiction franchises, such as Battlestar Galactica and The Orville, to follow in its footsteps. Catchphrases like "Live long and prosper" have become synonymous with the franchise. It's hard not to think of the iconic Vulcan salute when you hear those words. Speaking of which, did you know that Leonard Nimoy, who played Spock, was the one who came up with the Vulcan salute? By the way, you can clearly see from the graph that the first movie was the most famous one in terms of adjusted gross, even after 4 movies from the Next Generation era. It sold close to 55.4 million tickets at the time. Now, compare that to the last movie, Nemesis, which had quite poor results with a bit less than 11.6 million, and you get the reasons for the reboot. But not everyone shared the same feelings. While longtime fans were concerned about recasting beloved characters like Spock and Kirk, the fresh vision and dynamic storytelling quickly garnered widespread support. This successful transition revitalized the franchise and attracted a new generation of moviegoers, as shown in the chart, nearly matching the ticket sales of the first movie. As we are coming to the end, time for some trivia you probably didn't know or were too young to remember. Martin Landau declined the role of Spock, a character with no emotions. He said it would have been torturous for him, and that he would have probably died playing that role because it was the antithesis of why he became an actor. Eddie Murphy, who considers himself a Trekkie, almost starred in Voyage Home, the 4th film. After 3 serious films, the producers sought to change the pace of the franchise to a more comedic one, so Murphy, at the height of his stardom, was approached for a role. Unfortunately, he ultimately chose to star in The Golden Child instead, which he later regretted. Sean Connery as a Vulcan. Yes, he was originally contacted to star in the role of Shybock, Spock's brother in the 5th film, The Voyage Home, but was busy with Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. So instead, the mythical planet Sha-Ka-Ree that Shybock is after was named in his honor. Get it? Sha-Ka-Ree. Sean Connery. Marlon Brando was interested in playing Soren, the villain in Generations against both William Shatner and Patrick Stewart. But the studio didn't want him because they believed that in his 70s, he was a has-been and an expensive one. Thanks, Paramount. Eventually, the role went to Malcolm McDowell, who did a terrific job with the material he got to work with. Tom Hanks, a huge Star Trek Next Generation fan, was almost cast in First Contact. one of the best films in the franchise, as the man who invented warp drive, Zephram Cochrane. The role was eventually given to James Cromwell, who did a terrific job. Lastly, not a role that got changed but was too young to be recognized. Tom Hardy in his early 20s played the villain in Nemesis, the 10th film. Also, as a final note, Google Dwayne Johnson in Star Trek. Yep, that happened.